And thank you, Mr. Secretary, for being here.
Thank you.
We do appreciate your hard work and your team's hard work. In your testimony, you stated that suicide prevention is the VA's highest clinical priority. You're requesting $8.6 billion for veteran mental health services, a 5.8% increase over last year. We're all aware of the staggering statistics that no matter how much we seem to invest, we simply still are talking about the 20 veterans that are committing suicide every day.
Yes.
Which is a problem. We also know that only 6 of those are part of the VA system. In last year's budget, mental health funding supported treatment to nearly 1.7 million veterans and allowed you to hire 1,103 mental health providers, 31 peer support specialists. Again, those are of great benefit to veterans within the VA system, but it leaves out the largest group, these veterans that are committing suicide that aren't part of the system, which are so difficult. And you talked about this in your testimony. You talked about the VA cannot do this
Yes.
alone. 70% of veterans who die by suicide are not actively engaged in VA health care. You talked about President Trump's executive order directing DOD, VA, DHS to develop a joint action plan to establish concrete actions again, to address this problem. So $190 million more for suicide veteran prevention outreach, that's a great thing. I guess the question is, what type of outreach, what are we going to do with that? How's this funding going to affect the veterans that are outside of the reach of the VA?
I think the best model that we're trying to replicate is what we did in homelessness, which is that we need the entire community's involvement in this. A week ago, we had a mayor's challenge of 8 cities who stood up and said, we're going to bring a team to Washington from 8 cities and commit ourselves to suicide prevention training with the federal government, SAMHSA, as well as VA and others in federal government. So we're reaching out to communities. We have a social media outreach called #BeThere or BeThereForVeterans.com. Tom Hanks is our national spokesperson, where we're trying to get the words out to communities, churches, not-for-profit groups, where there are veterans in need, to reach out to them and find them resources to help. We have 130 community veteran experience boards where we bring together groups in the community to focus on suicide as well as other issues for veterans. So this model of reaching out for help that the VA can't do it alone, I think is very powerful. I think it will have an impact on the 14 veterans a day that are not getting their care in VA. Of course, we want anybody who needs help to reach out to us through our Veterans Crisis Line or to come in to any of our facilities.
You mentioned the #VA. Are you developing any other things to make it easier for a veteran to connect, either with the VA or outside?
Yeah, we do. We're adding to our app store, apps where people can connect. We now do texting through our Veterans Crisis Line. Of course, adding another 200 responders to the Veterans Crisis Line, and the fact that we now answer the phone on a regular basis, I think adds to that capability. Every one of our VA facilities has signed a suicide prevention pledge, which commits the leadership team to doing more in terms of outreach. But look, this is a tough problem, and we need other people's ideas. We're working with technology companies about innovative ways to do this, but we're open to other ideas because we just have to do more.
Good. Well, we appreciate you elevating it to the level that you have, deservedly so, and look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.